there, Mayor Jeff and Allison. Hope you guys are having a great day today and having a good trip. Is your video lesson for today. 3 things I want to talk about. Looking forward to getting you back in the studio next week, so it should be fun going back and reviewing all the things we talked about in the last 2 videos. Let's see here. So the first thing is review. You can't overstress how much how important it is to review these beginning stages and getting them really rock solid. What we're doing is we're building a foundation, and one thing that we really want to avoid is rushing the beginning stages or skipping steps. And if something's unclear for Mayor, we will make sure that everything is very clear and his sitting position is locked in, and then that way he can really focus on making really cool music. When the time comes. So like I said, it is so important to be constantly reviewing these steps. You don't need to do a ton of practice every day, but you do need to do a little bit every day. And I'm not talking a whole lot. His brain's a sponge. So like a couple of reps for him is a lot of time for us, right? Our brains are my mind is probably heading down now. It peaked. Anyway, so one thing to review would be the finger names. Doing the Thumbkin song we talked about last time. Where is Thumbkin? Where is Thumbkin? Here I am. Here I am. You want to be very familiar with the finger names. That way, when the topic that I'll bring up in a second comes up, he'll know what we're talking about. It's just really important for him to know all the nomenclature and things like that. So reviewing the sitting position, people in the bus up and down, things like that. That would be very good practice to do between now and next time. Even if, like, say you're in a hotel room, or I can't remember if you're in a hotel room or family or not, but like just practicing the up and down, feet together, feet apart. All that is good stuff, and you can do that without any of the gear that you usually have when you come to the studio. So do a ton of review on that work for me. Secondly, is another thing I always need to talk to parents about when we're in their beginning stages is listening. This is straight up a foreign language, and we're going to treat it as such. When I'm doing my language learning, I try to do a lot of listening. I do have my grammar books and everything, and my vocab flashcards and things like that. But nothing substitute hearing it in the wild or listening to examples of it. Same thing with music. The more familiar he is with these songs, the much faster he'll learn the material. I did an experiment one time. I let a student who didn't like listening. I'm like, all right, go ahead and try to learn the song without listening to it. Just look at the music on the paper and see how fast you learn it. And we did that for a couple weeks, and we weren't really getting anywhere. Right? Everything was all halting. It didn't flow right. The accents weren't in the right place. The rhythm was off. And I was like, okay, now it's my turn to have my say. And I told him, okay, now this week you're going to listen to that song 5 times every day. The song's only a minute and a half long, so we're only talking maybe like 10-15 minutes of practice listening during the day. And lo and behold, what happened was he learned the song, and it was so much smoother, and he learned the song within like 2-3 weeks. He had the whole thing down. And so it just goes to show you that the more you listen to this stuff, the more you sing it, right? The faster you get it. Now there is 2 different types of listening in my world. One's active listening, and the other is passive listening. Passive listening is you driving the car. Like me driving to work today, if you ask me the 3rd song that I listened to in the car, I can't really tell you. But I could probably hum tunes. I could probably hum a little bit of what I heard in the car coming in. That's passive listening, where things are playing in the background. Like, say for example, if you guys are eating dinner or having lunch, and you have the music playing in the background, stuff like that. He's still hearing it. He's still taking it in. It's just not in the forefront of your guys' mind at that particular moment in time. Now, active listening is when we sit down and we're listening to this music now. So I always equate this to when it's Saturday night in my home office. I have my turntable system there, and I put my headphones on. Everyone's in bed. I sit there, and I'm the only thing I'm doing in that moment is listening and enjoying music and taking it all in and listening to the different layers inside the recordings. So that is active listening. So what does active listening look like for a 4-year-old and a parent at the same time? And what that looks like is you guys which is your favorite song? Let's listen to these 3 songs, and you tell me which one you like the best. Or does that one go? Does it go up or does it go down? What instrument is that? You're asking things like that. Do you recognize that melody? Let's see if we can make up funny words. That's another good one too. Is can you make up silly rhymes with the songs? I know one girl, one that comes to mind is it was Song of the Wind, ba da 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 ba da dee da da, and she made up this whole thing about like about mermaids singing by the reef or something like that. So making up silly song words for these tunes, they'll stick in his mind better. It's kind of like having lyrics for words without songs. Right? Same thing that we would do in school where we were trying to, we had our listening list that we had to, okay, we're listening to Baroque music this week of, French Baroque music, and to try to keep it all straight, you would sometimes make up like little funny rhymes that go with the tunes to help you remember who the composer was, what region it was from, things like that. So active listening is that sort of thing. If you only do active listening, that's still considered practice. I consider that off guitar practice. So if you do listening homework while you're on the plane, or hey, let's listen to we're on the plane, we're boarding in a little bit. Let's pick a favorite song, or like let's make up words for this. In my world, that is still considered practice. Now, nothing substitutes actually getting your hands on a guitar and practicing, but when we talk more about visualization practice later on, which is very powerful, but doing listening is very good practice in my book. Cool, so be sure to be doing that. And then lastly is something more tangible, which is string names. So what we want to start doing is we want to start learning what these strings are called right here now. You might get excited and want to learn all the string names, but what we're going to do is we're going to do one at a time. And the ones that we're going to concentrate first in the one at a time set is the G, right, which is your third string. B is your second string, and E is your first string right here. Now, like I said, you want to get excited, you want to teach them all the string names, right? But I found in that that sort of thing that students were getting confused, like this is E here and this is E here, and then they would get confusion. Then we spent a whole lesson unprogramming that. So I would recommend just doing the G, the B, and the E string, and doing one at a time. Wait till he gets one really good, so you can have him put his hands behind his back. Okay, Mayor, this is the G string right here. Now take your pointer man and touch the G string, and you'll touch that string right there. Where you go, okay, so we'll do G again, do G. When you could do it a bunch of times in a row, I would get confusion sometimes from young students who would like think the names changed every single time, and I found that just concentrating doing one at a time. G, G, G. This one's here. Use a pointer man to touch G. Use middleman to touch G. Right here. Use ringman to touch G. Use thumbkin to touch G. That sort of thing. And then once you sat down consistently, picking the correct string every single time, then you add a second one to it. So now he has two choices to go. This one's B and this one's G. And you practice B for a while, and then you go back, review G, and then you use like a wild card thing, like okay, which one's G, which one's B, that sort of thing. So, all right, cool. So practice those for me. As always, if you want me to look at something or have questions, follow up to this video. I'm more than happy to take a look at any questions that you have. If not, I will see you same time next time. Take care.